Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I made a video about a month ago on how much military aid Ukraine received in the first 6 months or 7 months, I think it was, something like that. And I realized by the calculation that Ukraine was almost as it had 7 months. I extrapolated to a year, and I said that if they continue to provide Ukraine with the same amount of military support, Ukraine would surpass a lot of countries in their military budget in a global scale. I think it received, by the calculation, was on the 15th place or the 9th place behind South Korea. That's where I think it was Ukraine, if it kept receiving the military aid from the sponsors. Now we have here an Ukrainian guy, a diplomat so-called, who's going to brag about this without realizing that that might be a slap or a punch in the face, for many citizens of the countries supposedly gave him the aid with their consent. So let's go and see what's going on in this article, which comes from Ukrinform. It's from today, the 1st of November 2022. And I'm quoting the title here. This year, allies provide Ukraine weapons worth 86% of Russia's military budget. So far, we're in just entered the 11th month of the year. So in the 10th month of the year, the Ukrainians got 86% of Russia's military budget. It got 2 more months. If we go proportionately, it's going to go beyond, it's going to surpass Russia's annual military budget. Where is that money coming from? Where are those weapons coming from? They come from United States, Germany, and other little countries. All right? Now, let's think about this. How come this guy is bragging about it? As I said, without knowing that there's people who do not support them receiving this amount of I'm so upset, of weapons. Now, the total defense and security assistance provided to Ukraine by Western nations in the current year stands at 41.3 billion euros. That would be about 44 billion dollars, which is 86% of the military budget of the aggressor power, the Russian Federation. Very interesting. Ukraine's permanent representative to the UN, Serhiy Kislitsa, provided the relevant stats via Twitter. I would keep that quiet. Why? Because it's just a slap on the face of people that say, wait a minute, my government gave you this much? I'm looking at my roads in a neighborhood. I'm looking at the schools, looking at the hospitals. How about our infrastructure? Someone paid for that, for those weapons. We paid with our taxes. Anyway, it's unbelievable. So, the next, it says, according to the data provided by the diplomat. I don't think he's a good diplomat because he doesn't have diplomacy in his blood by just posting these kind of things without thinking what we might think about them. The total military aid from Western partners over the 10 months of 2022 exceeded Ukraine's 2022's defense budget by 7.6 times. The Baltic states and Poland sent Ukraine the largest share of their defense budgets. In particular, the undisputed leaders of the list are Latvia and Estonia, which have provided Ukraine with arms worth 41% and 37% of their defense budget, respectively. So that means that Latvia gave Ukraine 41% as of now of their military budget. compared. So let's say they have, I'm just saying, 100 billion dollars the budget. They gave them 41 billion. All right. So that would be, if we put it in the context of United States of America and 40%. So United States of America has a budget, let's round it up to about $800 billion. So 41% of $800 billion would be about what? 35, I would say 30 something, 340 billion dollars. So from $800 billion, 41%, I said, as I said, 320 billion dollars. This is how much Russia, United States should have given according to Latvia and Estonia. But United States gave about what? 18 billion so far, I think. So it says here that as Ukrinform reported earlier, the U.S. State Department said it would provide 8 NASAMS and NASAMS air defense systems to Ukraine. 2 will be delivered immediately. So, as I said, I made a calculation a month and a half ago, something like that. I took the list of the countries with their budgets, and I calculated. Okay, I said Ukraine received so far, and it was like 6 months, and it was almost 7. I said received. At that point, 18 billion, no, 18 was with the last year. So about 17 billion dollar worth of weapons from United States. And with everybody else, I went to about 22 billion dollar worth of weapons. I think it's more, but I try to be conservative so I don't, be, how should I put it, attacked that, hey, we're charged with inflating. I'm playing for the other team. So I said $22 billion, and then $22 billion, I said, you multiply it by 2, right? Because it's half of a year, so it would be about what? $44 billion. That's where they are right now. $44 billion. That means if that's 86% of the Russian budget, that means the Russian budget is no more than $48 billion, something like that. Is that a $48 billion out of how much has United States? 800. So 40. I'd say 50. I think it's more than that. Anyway, 50. Let's make it $50 billion. The Russian budget, which is more than that, I think. 50 billion, and the other ones have 800 billion. And who's the country of peace here? I know it was United States has its budget, military budget, is more than everybody else together combined, or the budgets of the rest of the world. But somehow we are it's so much. Just look at the numbers are there, very available. So good job. And this guy is just trumpeting that on Twitter. I actually like this. Anyway, it's just unbelievable. Some of us did not want to support that, or not to this extent. How about the ones that did not? Well, they have to do it because that's the way it is in a democracy. You vote one time, and those guys make the decisions for you, like 5 years, 4 years, 2 years, depends how long their term is, and you can't do anything about that. So they can screw your life 4 years or 5 years, and you can't do anything. What are you going to do? How can you kick them? Work in the system. That's how I've been told in the college here. You got to work within the system. That means go and vote. Okay. A or B, which actually are the same guys. One is with a mustache, the other one is without a mustache. They have the same sponsors. Basically, that's what they told us. Hey, you're going to vote for the Republicans. No, I'm going to vote for the Democrats. What are they talking about? Who's behind all these guys? Who's giving them the money? They call it here donations, campaign donations. Overseas, we call them bribes. It's just, euphemisms. But the idea is, we're going to give you some money so you can go and outspend the other one. I thought it was about the message, not, yeah, it's true. It's true. You have to make it heard. But good. Give them more money. That way they will win. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.